guys, good day. No matter what time it is on your end, morning or night, welcome to Ada's channel. I'm currently staying on campus for summer sessions while studying for the TOEFL. Unlike ordinary semester courses, these general education classes enforce strict attendance rules. I'm particularly struck by my comparative poetry course focused on Chinese and Western love poetry. Our professor keeps telling us that self-study alone is never enough to fully understand profound poetry. This steady, class-bound routine leads me to a key question I want to unpack today. Centuries have gone by since the Industrial Revolution. Many thinkers have pointed out how standardized time frames cut people off from their true selves. For a long time, I fully agreed with those critics. I've always hated writing out detailed plans because written checklists and schedules feel like they cage my freedom. After all those discussions about institutional confinement, why do I choose to follow a steady daily rhythm voluntarily? Is this tight rhythm torturing myself or setting my mental energy free? To figure this out, I look back on how I used to spend my summer breaks. Back in high school, I refused to map out my days on paper. I would rush through all compulsory homework as soon as possible, then spend whole mornings buried in novels and shows with zero self-restriction. By 3 in the afternoon, I would realize I'd achieved nothing meaningful. To calm the unease of wasting time, I'd glance over pre-filmed materials briefly before the day ended, just to create a false sense of productivity. As someone focusing on history, politics, and geography, I never thought pre-filling basic high school subjects mattered. All that shadow work was just self-deception. I struggled a lot with inner conflict under exam-focused education. I never believed grades could define a person's worth. To avoid being labeled a hardworking straight-A student, I deliberately downplayed my efforts, craving to be seen as naturally gifted rather than diligent. It took me a long time to a crucial realization. Self-discipline and perseverance are indispensable components of personal competence. Deliberately shirking hard work is nothing but self-imposed limitation. When I first enrolled in this poetry course, I held considerable arrogance. With my long-term linguistic intuition and access to unlimited online resources, I assumed I could fully master poetic analysis on my own, regarding mandatory class attendance as unnecessary restriction. This misconception stemmed from my previous reading habits, which relied heavily on subjective literary essays rather than canonical original texts. The most typical example is literary memoirs written by Mu Xing. I once harbored the fantasy of being a literary youth and purchased this widely popular book, yet I finally decided to sell it off, because I am clearly not its target audience. Its commentary is extremely personalized and biased. A premium flaw is that the author never mentions John Donne, a British metaphysical poet whom I deeply admire. This made me fully aware that fragmented subjective essays are extremely inappropriate for literary beginners, as they easily build skewed, authentic standards. In contrast, systematic academic lectures provide standardized analytical frameworks. A poetry professor offers mainstream academic perspectives in the field directly, saving me massive time cost of filtering biased online information. If I develop further interest, I can then dive into original works for in-depth research. Before exploring the broad intellectual world, the very first step is to acknowledge our ignorance and intellectual limitations, and abandon our arrogance for these kind of things. Now I can clarify the confusion between two totally different things. The rigid clock system born in the Industrial Revolution was designed to exploit the laborers and turn humans into assembly line tools. And that's the kind of code-written schedule I resist deeply. The stable rhythm I stick to now is totally different. I don't write down rigid daily plans. I only follow the fixed class hours arranged by school to fight against human laziness and limited willpower. Even for people with abundant energy, mental focus, and physical stamina have reached upper limits. Staying up late and wandering through days without any fixed ankle can only grant short-term sensual pleasure, which will eventually lead to procrastination, anxiety, and empty long-term outcomes, like a horror movie looping in circles. Having fixed summer classes and regular language study as natural ankles removes the endless mental struggle of deciding what to do every single minute. These loose, unwritten boundaries save my limited mental energies for long-term valuable pursuits, including language learning, overseas postgraduate applications, and this series of intellectual vlogs. I reject restrictive written plans, but I won't reject gentle, unrecorded order that helps me grow. I no longer treat steady daily ankles as chains from the old industrial era. Instead, I feel this loose, unscripted sense of regularity as a practical tool to overcome our inherent weaknesses. We can keep rejecting rigid written plans that trap freedom, yet we should not totally discard self-regulation and stable daily ankles. True freedom is not unrestrained indulgence, but the capability to steadily work hard toward long-term life goals without trapping ourselves in written rules. From now on, for this channel, I will release identical full-length English videos across Bilibili, YouTube, and Red, without editing short fragmented clips to cater to fast-paced traffic. The sole purpose for these voiceover vlogs is to practice academic English output and carve my personal thoughts. I do not pursue massive views. However, if you want to have a place to have reflective thinking together with me, here is your place. Bye bye and see you next time.